We're doing Photopea, another Photopea thumbnail for today. Let's get a template open first. We're looking for the weekly template, which is this one, weekly intros, and we're going to save it as, and we're going to go over here to thumbnail hacks. I know it looks confusing, but it actually makes sense when you think about it. Thumb channel. At least we have a little bit of, not footage, graphics. We're going to call this Photopea new channel, new thumbnail. Oh, you know, I didn't even come up with a brand stamp yet for this channel. We're not talking about live, but we are talking about having a new layer, which will be right above this layer, actually. Layer, add new layer, new layer. Come on, new layer. There it is. Let's bring it up one. And we're going to paste from memory because this is what we're going to be working on. This is Lumosity. And what we are doing is taking that and going to be doing my weekly workouts. Not weekly, daily workouts. I work out daily with Lumosity. So edit freeform, free transform. Get that to fit the best we can. Might as well bring it down a little bit more. Now let's make it even smaller so I can see it better. I want to use as much of that page as I can. That doesn't look too bad. I think that's about as big as we're going to go. We're looking for frames, which, not brand stamp. Now here's one thing that we can do here is just bring this up over. And bingo, we're done for today. Here I am editing the video that you're watching right now, and I got up to about here where I'm snagged over being able to put a lettering on here, and that's where we're at. So might as well go and show you exactly how I did the lettering, because I did decide to do this all in Photopea because I'm like a dog with a bone. I said I'm going to learn Photopea. It's not that difficult. It's just that sometimes it takes me one or two tries to get things twice in a row. Here's Photopea. Here's the Lumosity, which I decided to go with black with an overlay over this. And here's the overlay right here. Now, what I did was I just made a copy of the black initially, and then I selected all of that by going like this. But the problem I was having was, and you'll probably have this problem too if you don't do this, which of course it's not going to do it while I'm on this. It was switching to the black layer rather than the top layer. Now I think I still am on the top layer. Yep, I was. So when it was white, for some reason, when I went in here, it would get the wrong layer. So what I did was I turned off the black layer so that I'm sure that I'm getting this layer and it's not changing. I went in and it was white at the time, which is the way to change it is to go here and go OK. Now it's going to be white. I'm just going through this to show you. All right, so I was at white. I already put one stroke on it so you can see it better. That is, now let's go back into here. I'll show you where the 1 pixel stroke is. These 3 dots over here, see where it says stroke? If I take that off, then it's going to be all white and you're just barely going to see it. See? Now we go back to it. And part of this I'm doing for now, it made another layer, which I'm never really fond of having. So I'm going to delete that and go back here and go back to this again and land right on top of it. There, now I'm selecting it. We're going to try another thing. See how it says color picker? Let's see if it works like this. And it does. Yay. What I had done before was I actually went over to this color picker and then picked a color. But I was just curious. I'm still totally learning this. And if we wanted to switch it to this color, it would be this orange color. And you notice how it has that each time. Now we picked this color. I'm going to go for something a little bit lighter though. Let's see. That looks a little bit lighter. And it kind of goes with the suitcases. I think it will make the lumosity pop better than this color here. Let's see what the deal is. We unselect it up here and we put the black underneath it, and I think I must have taken the stroke off of that layer too. Go back to here, see what the stroke is. Yes, I did take the stroke off. There's stroke back on, just so you have a little hint of it for when we don't have this layer there. Now that stands out a little bit better, maybe. We can mess around with the color more, or we can just say that that is good. Let's check to go in small. It doesn't go very small. Let's see how the darker color works. And we're still on. See how it switched down to this layer? Now whatever layer, this is what I was talking about earlier. We have to turn that off and start over, because I don't want it on that layer. I want it on this layer. Change color, work, see how it does with a little bit darker, and see if that goes to a smaller. Did I go okay? I think I did. And we go, and that little oval is driving me crazy. There. Minus, minus, minus. It does stand out a little bit more. Give it a little bit more stroke. See if that'll work too. At some point with the stroke tool I've been having trouble with, because what happens is I get cross colors on this when I put more than a couple of pixels in there. And it might not do it with this font. It does it with some other fonts. It's not doing it now. Let's give it a bigger stroke. Give it 6 pixels. And we're gonna go, we already did that. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, now that's gonna stand out. Let's move it just a little bit. Zoom it in a little bit. Get a little bit finer control of the movement, because your mouse movements are gonna be less exaggerated and doesn't look too awful. We're still having trouble with a small thumbnail. We'll have to see how that works coming in. We're download it. File save it, and file export as soon as that's done. That's done. Export as PNG 585. I've noticed that the PNGs are smaller, which is nice. And let's open it up. It's going to end up opening in paint.net because that's still my PNG primary. Now that doesn't look too bad. Now let's go minus. I think it's that. So we go about this small. I guess we're going to leave it just like that. And that's how you can manipulate the colors within Photopea. It's fairly simple, except it took me weeks to learn. Love you all. Bye-bye.